what we are going to discuss about. So,
Yeah, if anyone doesn't have the soft copy, please do ask your coaches. The soft copy of this book is with your coach. This is the book, Priya is sharing it, 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. Please do get the soft copy. It's a wonderful read. We are discussing chapter 9. Next week, we'll be discussing chapter 10 and so on. So today, new people can listen in, but it might be a good idea to have this book either as a physical or a soft copy. Yeah, let's go ahead.
yeah, this is a wonderful chapter. When I was reading through the book, I don't know what to present because every line has got a meaning. Every line, every paragraph talks volume on how we can improve ourselves. So I could pick maximum what I can, then I'm presenting it. Let me
Yeah.
share
So
my screen. Yeah,
Harris,
just
my suggestion always is give few things that what do you call we find it good, we can apply it. Rest let
yeah.
the people read. Let's
Okay,
not
okay.
go through everything. Hardly people
Yeah,
will remember anything. Couple of
yes.
points that is very important. People will remember.
Oh, okay. So let me share my screen. Share. Share. So a law of ladder is about climbing up the ladder of character. When I was reading the first line, achievement to most people is something you do. To a higher achiever, it is something you are. Law of firebar. I was I was understanding, but after finishing the chapter, it was very much very clear. So let me leave it here only. Let's go through what is written. So the author actually, like in every story, he starts beautifully with a story. He's starting the story of Jerry. He's a machinist, he's a die maker. He was not happy with working for somebody. He wanted to be an entrepreneur. And he started his business. He had multiple failures. Whatever he starts, he had a lot of enthusiasm, but everywhere he starts, he faces failure. Then finally he come across a person through his friend, one John Schrock. He's a very successful businessman. You want to talk to him like how he is able to bring the business to a big success. And he gave him a secret, like he gave him a homemade book. It's taken from the book of Proverbs, from the Old Testament. He sorted by subject. He says, whenever I am feeling very rejected or confused, I go through the book and I apply. So that's how I become successful. So he hands him over that small pocket book to Jerry, and Jerry starts reading that, and he feels that if I want to be successful like this John Shaw, I need to be like him. So he started using that book, and he started making associations to study the principles, one principle a day with a group of people. Then he started feeling the success. And his success was a very great journey. Um, he started uh, with a business, real estate magazine, and it boomed. It increases with thousands of employees. Then his principles, because he experienced really what was going great, he wanted to start spreading the principles to the marketplace. And he started first because he came across three people from Guatemala. He started giving them the principles. They were very much happy with that, and they started applying it. They want to improve on that. Then finally, after their uh, taking up the principles, that Guatemala University started inviting them. Why I'm telling this, how following the principles brought him to a very big arena. Like then university invited him. Then from there, after that, Bigota from Colombia, they called him. He thought it'd be a crowd of 50,000. Then he became huge crowd. You had to go to nearby park to conduct a thing, a meet. Then the government, Colombia national government invited him for prison employees. So there was a lot of murder and drug addiction. Everything was taking place in that prison. But finally, he had to, he, because of the success principles, he has reduced a lot of this unlawful activity. And finally, he was taking care of 143 prisons, holding 75,000 prisoners. Then after seeing the success, the Colombian military training, they called him to give his troops. Then his teaching became a law read, and it came to businesses and churches and governments and education institutions and around the globe. Why author is telling the story is like, though Jerry started his business, he was very competent in the area wherever he started, but he was not able to be successful. The success he started achieving only he started uh, using the principles of the character building. So next, the author is taking us to the survey, which is conducted by James Coase and Barry Posner. They were conducting a survey among the leading institutions, and they want to find out what is the secret of their success of those institutions. They took uh, across the globe, and 99% of the answers were almost the same. When they were asked like what made them to admire their leaders, they said because of their honesty. So because anybody who wants to follow anyone will follow really a person who's really honest. So 99% of the leadership failures are failures of character. Honesty is a root of the character. Like if you don't have a character, your leadership will fail. Not only the leadership, anything in your life will fail if you don't have the character. That's what author is trying to make a point. And he's telling a very nice thing, like before we rely on anybody else, whom do we actually rely on? We rely on our people, we rely on leaders, but before that, whom do we actually rely on? We rely on ourselves. So if you are not faithful to ourselves, if our character itself is not very important or very nice, how can we grow professionally? So if we depend on ourselves, if we ourselves are not having a very strong character, we cannot come up in life. So he's telling like 99% of the leadership failures are failures of character only. And even if not only leadership failures, any other failure, if you take, it is based on if the character is not nice, you'll be able to fail. You won't be able to succeed. So uh, then he is describing what is character. Normally, how do we think a character is like? We take in a normal parlance like don't drink, don't smoke. He's gone much beyond that. He's telling like how do we miss the deadline because we don't follow through the certain rules every day what we need to do. He's telling that is a character. And how many times we're getting a lower grade in our tests because we didn't study, we didn't organize ourselves. And most of the marks are low because we didn't study properly. It is not that we don't have the knowledge to understand because we don't study properly. That is also a character. And how frequently we fail to grow, not because of the time to read. This is a very beautiful thing, the last point. Though we have enough time, we spend most of our money in other things, which are of very less value. Like maybe we are spending in something else, but we are not spending our time and money on reading a very good books, which builds up our character. Then he's talking about the rungs of the ladder. The ladder he means is a character ladder. So we see author John C. Maxwell as the greatest of one of the greatest author in character building or leadership. But he himself is telling he had to do intentionally. It doesn't just happen to me if he wants to build the character. He has to do intentionally. I was thinking like such a great author is writing like this. The only reason I could find is he had analyzed himself threadbare and he is finding a lot of mistakes in him. That is why he's telling he has to intentionally to take every step of his mistakes to build his character. And he's giving us 5 points, 5 rungs of a ladder, like how to build the character. He says he'll focus being better on the inside rather than the outside. And he's telling the inside influences only the influence your outside. So if at all we want to be successful, we have to be successful from our inside. So when we fail to make right choices inside, we give away our ownership of ourselves. Like we will be slave to somebody if you are not building ourselves. Somebody will be leading us. Somebody will be doing whatever they say. If we don't master ourselves, we don't build our character, we will be selling ourselves to somebody. And he also says winning is more than money. So winning is winning on the inside. So money without winning on the inside is very dangerous. Still, inside development is totally within our control. If we control us, if we want to control ourselves, what is outside we cannot control, but definitely we can control whatever is there in our inside, like integrity, courage, perseverance, confidence, wisdom. All these, unlike fingerprints, can be developed. We are born with the fingerprints that we cannot develop at all, but definitely we can develop all these attributes, which can be developed from a person from within, and it will make him a better person. It says if we fail to make character choices within us, we gave away the ownership of ourselves, which I told. And winning in life is more than money. Winning on the inside, not rich in pocket, rich on the inside. You say many youngsters, young achievers, when they are getting a lot of money when they were young, before they could build the character, it actually spoils them. They end up in the suicide, even though they attain all the wealth they need in the world. They don't know what to do with that because of character is not properly built. It actually destroys them. And the second rule he talks about, he says it's a golden rule. Actually, he says people matter. Like if you need to pick up only one rule for life, he's saying the rule of the thumb is what you want people to do for you, grab the initiative and do for them. Don't expect them to do for you. You start the initiative. He says that is a very important rule for character building. If only we can pick up this one, which is a very basic thing, which will be able to develop a character to a great extent. And another thing is like the third rule, he says, I will teach only what I believe. See, most of the motivational speakers, they will pick up a word like if you believe you can achieve all this, generally they will speak. But even the author is telling initially when he started speaking, he was even preaching what he did not buy in 100%, but later he regretted it. Then he came back and he wanted to teach what he really believes and what he is more passionate about. He says even now he is very much interested about the real relationship, equipping, attitude, and leadership. All these things is really still passionate and he teaches about it. If you don't teach what you believe, he says you are a hypocrite. You are not actually teaching. You are talking one thing because you don't believe, you don't actually believe what you're preaching, but you're only preaching. Never do that. The fourth one is telling humility. Humility is above all virtues. And he's explaining very nicely about humility from the quote from J.M. Barrie, telling life of every man is a diary in which he means to write one story but writes another. And his humblest hour is when he compares what he has written with what actually has happened in his life with what he has hoped to make it. Most of the time, for most of the people, I want to achieve this, that, and all. Finally, when he goes back in your life and reads the entire life, he feels that he's a total disappointment. He has never made it. Maybe 1%, maybe even 0%. So when you realize that, then only realize that that will make you very humble, because you are not, you are not fully control of what you have to do, what you wanted to do, intended to do. And he's giving few points about John F. Kennedy. In front of his office, he used to write, "Oh God, thy sea is so great, and my boat is so small." When Kennedy, who is the leader of the free world, one of the greatest country in the world, is able to write that, he himself knows his position where he is. He is much, much smaller than the position that he's holding. That is humility, the author says. If you don't have that perspective in your mind, that I need to develop a lot to guide the government, he won't be able to do it successfully. And second thing, to bring humility is telling everyone should recognize the weakness. So I think 3 points is telling we should admit our weakness first of all, and we need to be patient with others' weakness, and we should be open to correction. He says, of all the three, he is only good at one. He is open to correction. That too is telling, because I have lot of mistakes. So I have to I have to be open to correction. And the moment we feel that we are weak, we make mistakes, definitely others also will make mistakes. That's how we can extend grace to them, not punishing like what we did, how we did, because every one of us makes a mistake. Then he's telling be teachable. He's always happy with when he's surrounded with youngsters, because youngsters are very spongy, like they want to learn a lot. They always ask questions to learn more. They never post that I know this, I know that. The author wants the association with these kind of youngsters, because he want to imbibe that nature into his character. So we need to be teachable if you want to be humble. And the next one is, we need to be willing to serve others. So most of the time, when being a leader, we naturally tend to assume that I'm the leader, so I can receive all the service from others. And once we start doing it, we'll definitely will swell. We'll think of our position. We think of our think that we are superior to others, and that will destroy ourselves, the organization, and the entire organization's performance. And he is telling how to overcome that, how to overcome swelling, or how to overcome becoming too arrogant. If you are able to achieve so many things, then start serving. And author says, I start serving, starting with Margaret, my wife, the family. So when I start serving, I will not feel, definitely, because I always have the serving mentality. So I will never swell. So I will be always humble, and that should be the motive. Then he's telling me we need to be very grateful. All that we have in our life is not because what we have done. There are occasions when we were not able to do, somebody had helped us to do it. And most of the people do not feel like, or do not want to be grateful, or they forget to be grateful, because they have to admit that at one point in time, they're totally helpless. And they have to be completely indebted to the person who have helped them. So that is the reason actually many forget to be grateful, even if they are not deliberately, do not want to be grateful. But we need to be grateful. Selling, there is a Chinese proverb: before drinking the water, you should be thankful for the person who dug the well. And he's also telling there is no self-made man. Nobody can be self-made. All are somehow or somewhere be built by somebody else. And on the point of humility, he quotes about Confucius. His quote: humility is the foundation of all virtues. It paves the way for character growth. So if we embrace humility, we can reach the height. And the more height we reach, we should be very careful about being humble. Otherwise, we'll fall from that height. The last one is a very nice thing. Faithfulness matters. There is a final rung of the ladder. He says he's determined to keep building his character until he dies so that he can live at the highest standard of living. So his aim is to live at the highest standard of living by building up his character till he dies. He says, no, there is no special time to do the right thing. You want to do the right thing. And if I feel good, I want to do good. That is not the way. But if you do good, then you feel good. If you do bad, you feel bad. So motion follows the emotion. So even if you don't feel doing something, if you start feeling doing something, even when your mood is not right, you will have a very good mood. And if you take control of your behaviors, naturally your emotions will follow in place. And another thing, like if you want to make a better world, better country, better city, better neighborhood, you have to start building from yourself with your family. So till you die, if you do that, that is the best thing you can do ever in your life. Build yourself, have a better, good family. Naturally, that will propagate automatically. So that's the best thing one can do. Then at a closing point, like how we can apply is giving some points from the experience of Alexander, the Pulitzer Prize winner. He was 18 years in prison. He entered the prison as an atheist. He came out as a believer and is very thankful for his imprisonment. He's telling, there's no rotten straw when I was sleeping. I'm thankful to that because I entered as an atheist. Now I came to know there is much more force above me. I became a believer. And studying personal growth means more than expanding our minds and adding to our skills. It means increasing our capacity as human beings, maintaining core integrity even when it hurts. It means maturing our souls. And it's another quote from physician and author Orison Swett Marden. Some people are born mad, but they died as a marble. Some are born mad and died as a mud. Some are born mud. They want to become marble, but died as a mud. But we need to strive. Though we are born as mud, we should strive to die as marble. So this one quote, we are not called to be successful, where we are called to be faithful. This is a quote from Mother Teresa. We have to be faithful to ourselves, to our character. Naturally, we reach the height. And now, the first quote which I told, achievement to most people is something you do. To a higher achiever is something you are. So after going through the entire book, I really felt the full meaning of the first quote, the opening of the chapter. Achievement to most people is something you do. For most of them, is something you do. I did this, I did that. But for a higher achiever, it is something you are. You yourself are achievement. So thank you. This is what I had in this chapter. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome, Harris. It's like a professor teaching us every single aspect of the book. Awesome. If many of you know, when we talk about this opportunity, when we reach high levels, they give us a flag actually, right? And what it says is it is not about the achievement, it is about who you become, the person you become. That's why they say when they give us that award, they say it's not about achieving this level, it's about the person you have become. That's exactly what this chapter says, right? Always strive to become. Yesterday, when I was talking to people, I was telling, when I started this opportunity, uh, I told myself, I don't think I can build this business, right? That's what I told myself because it was looking too hard for me. And I asked my mentor, Sam, what do you think? You have to understand that I was from Kerala. I mean, I studied in an English medium school, but unfortunately, in those days, even in English medium schools, we used to talk in the local language, right? So the only thing I could speak in English properly was the technical stuff. I was an IT professional, so technical stuff used to come out smoothly, no problem. But then communication was a problem. I was very bad at dressing, which to some extent I'm still working on it, right? And so Sam told me openly, Joe, you cannot succeed in this opportunity. I was shocked. Thought he will tell me that it's easy, Joe. What's a big deal? Anyone can succeed. All those things. That's what you expect, no? They'll motivate us. That's what was my expectation also. What he told, Joe, I really don't think you will succeed. But then he asked me, do you want to become that person who can succeed in this opportunity? That was his next question. I said, yes, I want. Then he said, let's work together and do that. I'm not saying that I have become successful, but still that path, I'm somewhere around that path, right? It's very exciting to see those changes in yourself. And then over a period of time, you see that happening in your team also, right? People coming who could hardly speak and they start speaking. You you see them performing. They themselves are surprised sometimes the kind of performance that they deliver. That's what this chapter encapsulates. Focus on personal growth, focus on character, everything will fall in place. Anyone else wants to add something?
Yeah, so I don't know, it's from a spiritual perspective. Initially, I think when I started the business, we always pray for, how fast can we get to the success level. And how fast I can become an emerald or diamond or, I mean, not the pins actually, maybe the money or the trips. But I think as we grow in the business, I have realized that more than our own personal, victories, I've started praying for my team. Okay. Like I don't know how to tell this. I visualize and I pray that what is it that I can do to help them. And that I think started making a big difference because I started realizing that it's not the same. Huh? It's not about leads or it's not about closing some things, but when I visualize each person, how I can mold them and how they will become successful, is when I started seeing the turning point in our own business. So I think this chapter is wonderful where he says that it is honesty, right? And I think I like that last, I don't know if you covered it, habits and it's listed. Habits, what is a habit? Habit is actually your daily battleground of your character. So every day you want to be fit. And you look at somebody and say it's so easy for them, but it's not easy. Every day they are on the battleground of disciplining themselves to go for that walk or go to the gym or eat right. And that is a habit, right? It's your daily battleground of character. In this business, the activities we have to do, right? It's a daily battleground. And that is what the habit is. And that's really wonderful how John C. Maxwell has summed up this chapter.
Guys, anyone else wants to bring in something from the book or apart from what you heard today from Harris? Aravind, you wanted to say something?
Hey, hi, sir. Yeah. See, the one thing what is stuck to me today is like, see, you wanted to teach something. First, you should start believing on that. You should be passionate about that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will not get the conviction, right? So you are trying to teach something, but you are not convict. Like you don't have a conviction for that, right? You don't have self-belief. So it will not work at all, basically, no matter what you do.
Very true.
So
Absolutely true. This is regarding everything that we do. That we always tell, we are not good at sales. We are trying to, but we are very good at passing our passion to people, passing our experience to people. Very, very passionate. And that's why it's very important that we keep ourselves healthy, right? Same books, right? See, you understood that Harris has read it. It was obvious.
Fast.
There was passion behind it. It's not like he has just run it through Chat GPT and got something, right? No. And it is very obvious. I mean, again, don't take me wrong. It is very obvious that some of the people also who has read it and was not read. And please understand, your teams are watching you. And then after this, you go and give them gyan saying, read books, read books. You lose that person altogether. Please take it extremely seriously. All right. There is no way we will succeed, especially in this opportunity, just like in a job. So, in a job, I'm very different. Right? We have all these mandatory AA trainings that we have to go through. Right? And my laptop is running there with low volume. The training is going on. That I do in my job, but never in my business. Never in my business. Because who am I fooling? There I'm fooling my company because that has to be finished. Here, who am I fooling? Myself. But people have that history, right? People have that history. Oh, I used to do it in a job. I never got caught. I will not get caught here also. It's not about getting caught here. Right? Please understand that. I mean, that's exactly what the chapter says. Character, becoming that person. Not going and telling I finished this book. Tick mark. That's what happens in my office, right? That the tick mark has to come. June end, these many courses has to be finished. So please, very, very important, not only reading books, anything and everything, using the products. Be an example that others can follow. So great, guys. I hope you guys will.
Tied for next week. We have a wonderful chapter. So we'll choose from this audience which one to go for. We have the law of the rubber band, which is my favorite chapter in this book, chapter 10, or we will go with Sam's 9, chapter 9.
Chapter 10.
Yeah, mastermind.
Yeah, power
I
of the
think
master.
let's study that together.
Okay. Think and Grow Rich. I hope most people will have this book. If you don't have
It's
it,
a free copyright.
please buy it. Soft copy is already available. This book is available for less than 100 rupees on Amazon because this book was written way back, close to 100 years back. Right? All copyrights, everything gone. Anyone can take copies and now sell it. That is the but powerful thing. You listen to any person and ask them what is the few books that you would recommend to be successful. One of the first books that come out of anyone's mouth is Think and Grow Rich. Right? And we will take up chapter 9, Power of the Mastermind. Okay. So please do read that chapter and come. I'm not assigning it to anyone. It's a very small chapter. In my book, it's starting from 215 to 224. So around 9 pages, 9 to 10 pages in a whole week, guys. Right? From what I see, it is one sitting you can finish it. That's how it is. If possible, finish it off today itself so that next Tuesday, we'll all sit together and discuss. And the discussion has to be, I'm not having any one person prepare anything. It has to be a discussion. The discussion will be exciting when all of us have read it. Please pass on the message to people. I know many people could not join today because Telegram is down. They might be struggling for the links, I guess. Telegram will be down till 22nd is what I hear because of NEET exam. So everyone, please make sure you communicate everything through WhatsApp also to your team. So please pass on this message to your team that next week we'll be taking up Mastermind from Think and Coach. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.